Hello and welcome to another video from your University of New Money, University of New Mercy. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit all notifications. That way you're notified of all future videos that come out from the channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Hello and welcome to another video from your University of New Money, University of New Mercy. This is the day 30 extravaganza. I've been looking forward to this day since 30 days ago, hopefully the last time in my life that I ever relapse. I've gone through many relapses in my life. I feel like since 2008 I've been in a downward spiral with alcohol, had my ups and downs, but finally during this previous 30-day period I've removed all alcohol from my life, been resisting temptation, been doing well, feel as healthy and happy as I ever have in my life, and feel like things are going to be different this time. And so I'm glad to share this period of my life with you. Hope to be motivation. I know you guys motivate me with your comments and the way you live your lives, overcome adversity. So, you know, together we can beat alcohol, we can accomplish our goals, and we can achieve what we want in life. And so I've gone ahead and done a little bit of a schedule today. I want this to be a longer video. Hopefully you find it rewarding. Starting off with, I wanted to talk about a daily journal that I've done for almost 2 years now. As you can see the binder right here, how thick it is. And you can see kind of what I keep track of each day right here, as I try to keep track of what I eat, the liquids I consume, whether or not I had alcohol, activities in my life, whether I feel like I've stayed true to family and friends, which, you know, I've represented with Mom here, God, myself, and then other things to inspire me during the day. And so I try to do this on a daily basis. During really difficult times in my life, I've kind of just breezed through it, summarized it after a week or so. The goal is to do it every day. As you can see here, I still have to fill it in for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, so I'll go ahead and do that. But I remember what I've done those days is I wasn't blackout drunk and I don't have any memory relapses, so it won't be that hard to go back in time and fill out the daily journal for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But you should try to fill this out every day. I've been doing this now for 585 days. Started off with pretty good success. I thought that was going to be the thing that helped me beat alcohol. After a couple of months, I guess I just ended up getting depressed and consumed more alcohol than I should have and went down that horrible spiral yet again. So that's why being on day 30 today, I'm cautiously optimistic because I feel great. I feel like doing these YouTube videos are really making me accountable to all of you. I want to be accountable to my friends and family. I want to be accountable to myself. So I think things are going to be different this time, but I don't want to get cocky. I've heard of people who have been sober for 20 years or longer and end up relapsing and even committing suicide. And so I don't want that to be the path for me. 30 days is great, but now my goal is to do another 30 days sober and then another 30 days sober. That's the goal. And so far so good. But every day, every moment in life, every moment is a battle, and you got to win the battle. And so anyway, this daily log, though I do find it useful, it is nice to go back in time and see events in my life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, which I'll have a section on that later. But doing a daily log is something, as if you haven't tried it, I do find it useful in my quest for sobriety, kind of like doing these videos, which that's a video daily log that I do, which I've added to this paper daily log I just showed you. But anyway, you want to be accountable, you want to have a plan, you want to resist temptation, and you want to stay sober, and you know, whatever other goals you may have in life, I hope you achieve them. In order to do that, I think it's important to have a plan. You got to be able to adapt to things that happen in life, so you may have to adjust your plan. But if you don't have a plan, you know, they've said it before, you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and I believe that's very true. In terms of how bad things got in my life, as I've done videos on this before, I would black out very frequently, as I'd like to drink a dozen beer in the evening, and then I would just wake up in the morning. Why I would do that is whether it was boredom or just feeling frustrated in life, not being motivated, is I just wanted that escape, and that's what blacking out did for me, is drinking a lot of alcohol at night will let me escape reality, and then I would just have to deal with reality in the morning. And so I would do that a lot during my period since 2008 until 30 days ago, which would be 2021. July 2021. Hopefully that's the last time in my life that I relapsed. Drove drunk many, many times. The last time I believe I had 5 high alcohol content beers from Nexus Brewery. Texted my mom that I was on my way home, and the next thing I remember is waking up in my bed as somehow being home. Because I don't remember driving home, I don't remember going to bed, texting this guy who I met at Nexus, who I've never talked to since. Didn't meet him before that night, haven't seen him since that night. But, you know, blackout drunk, texted him, woke up in my bed not knowing how I got home. So there are many times in my life where I drove drunk. After that incident, I got a voluntary breathalyzer, which helped as I couldn't start my car unless I was 0.05% alcohol by volume or lower. So that was a positive improvement in my life, as that did prevent me from driving drunk, at least driving my own vehicle. But definitely not something I'm proud of. Forgetting things, you know, when you consume as much alcohol as I did, is very easy to have blackout moments, to just forget things in general. And so these are things in my life that I want to move on from, that, you know, for the past 30 days I've been able to avoid it, and I can't wait to avoid it for the next 30 days and beyond. How good things can get, and that God is forgiving. I've always looked at relapse as an opportunity. As the day of or after relapse is always embarrassing. You wonder why I drank so much. When I go back to my 30 days ago in July 2021, I believe the day was July 6th or July 7th. I'd have to go ahead and confirm that. In fact, I'll do that later in this video. That way the date is here on record. You know, relapse is a part of recovery, and I have relapsed numerous times in my life, and why God has forgiven me so many times I'll never understand. Is I'm not deserving of His forgiveness. I'm not deserving of all these chances I've been given in life. But every time you relapse and you wake up from it, not having killed someone, not having killed yourself, not having done serious permanent damage in your life, is you can look at yourself and say, hey, I survived another episode in my life, and through the grace of God, through your own willpower, through a good plan, hopefully you can beat it for good. Because that's the state of my life that I'm in right now, is I believe I have relapsed for the final time, but took many, many relapses over the past 13 years, as I thought I overcame it after each relapse, and what do you know, I would relapse again, and that's why I'm being very cautiously optimistic right now. We'll see what the future holds as I do these videos. I'm hoping I've overcome it for good, but I don't believe you ever overcome or beat alcoholism. I believe you could put it into remission, hopefully permanently, but I don't believe that disease ever goes away. It's always going to be there. So, you know, God is forgiving. Things are good. I feel as healthy, as happy as I ever have been in my life, but you don't want to get cocky. You don't want to get overconfident. You want to stay positive and stick to the plan. And a lot of that plan is getting help from friends and family, and I have a loving dog, Swizzle, who has always been there for me, no matter how good or how bad I've been. My dog, Swizzle, has always been there, as loving as ever, the best dog a human could ever want. And same with my friends and families. They've been super supportive of me through all the things I've gone through, every time I've relapsed. Maybe I've gotten some criticism, well-deserved, but they've always been positive, saying that, you know, the past is the past, that all I can really do is affect the present to hopefully have a better future. And so when relapses happened, it's all about changing things in my life. After this previous relapse, I got rid of all of the alcohol in my fridge, and instead of trying to toy with alcohol and say I can control it, I've decided I just don't want alcohol at all in my life. And finally giving into that and taking that approach has been different than any approach I've tried over the past 13 years, as I've given up alcohol for maybe a week, a couple of weeks, and then I've gone back to it saying I can control it now, as I can go back and have a beer at night or 2 beers at night. And then it ends up leading me to a path where I black out and drink too much and relapse, and then do that cycle all over again. And I don't want to do that anymore. Getting rid of alcohol completely, I'm still having fun in life, and I haven't had that cycle repeat itself, because I'm not playing with the devil. I'm not testing temptation. And that's a positive thing that's happened in my life. And luckily I've had help from friends and family to support me with this quest. As I don't mind if some of my friends or some of my family drink, as long as they don't push it on to me. And some of my friends and family have been super supportive of me and in fact have decided to become sober themselves. So it's been a positive experience with those who I care about and who are close to me. Another positive person who's on YouTube is Big No-No. That's BIGNOKNOW. That's Noah Thomas. There'll be a link to his YouTube page, his channel in the description. As I found him very inspirational during this alcoholism I've been under for the past many years, as I've seen him go years sober and then relapse, and he has consumed an immense amount of alcohol. I believe during his last phase with alcoholism, he was saying he was drinking 70, 80 beers a week, because I don't think I ever got that bad. And it's not a competition to say who is worse and who recovered from the worst bout of alcoholism ever. It's not a competition, as everybody has their own battle with alcoholism, whatever it may be. Mine is worse than others, mine is better than others. I guess me being relatively honest, based on my opinion, I don't think I had it as bad as Noah Thomas, but at the same time, maybe I had it worse, as maybe I didn't have 80 beers in 1 week. But the pain and suffering I was causing to those close to me, maybe it was worse than the pain and suffering he was causing to those close to him. I don't know. Again, it's not a competition, but he is somebody who I found very inspirational, and I think if you're having trouble with alcoholism like I did, go visit his channel. He has a lot of inspiring videos there. As me just going through his page right now, he doesn't ask me anything pretty often, so you want to subscribe to his channel. That way you're notified when he goes live on YouTube. But even going back to 10 months ago, that's when he posted the video that I'm going back to rehab, that alcohol is kicking his butt, as he was at as low of a point in his life as he had ever been. As when you scroll further down his videos, you know, you can go to videos that say he's a year sober and he's as scared or as struggling as he ever was in his life, is that he needed a little extra chaos in his life, and after a year sober you would think that's the happiest day in your life, and for him it wasn't last time. But now he's approaching another year sober period, and I believe changes he's made in his life. One of the videos he uploaded within the past 10 months for sure is talking about how he's always wanted a little chaos in his life, and how he's tried to address that, try to be more responsible, more of a responsible adult. And I think that'll help him get past his 1 year period, that instead of wanting chaos in his life, getting bored with sobriety, that hopefully this new way of life that he's adopted, hopefully that helps him get through 1 year sober and get way beyond that, which he's struggled with several times on his channel. Again, the good days, the bad days, the ugly days is one of my favorite movies. Is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Very entertaining movie, and with a title like that, you can definitely apply that to many areas in your life. And so applying that here is my good days is when I'm confident, when I'm motivated, and when I'm in control. Like right now, is I'm motivated to make these videos for you guys, to do my daily log right here and put positive things on that, to be in control of my mind, my emotions, and things that happen in my life. Obviously, there are things that are outside of my control, but if I can control what I can control to the best of my ability and in as much of a positive way as I can, then I believe I'm living life in a wonderful way. But those bad days, needing escape, needing to black out to escape my problems, to feeling depressed, not feeling hope in life, those are what I want to avoid. And since I haven't really had those bad days in the past 30 days, maybe I should get to the ugly days. The ugly days are all about wasting time, wasting days, and being drunk. So those bad days, those ugly days where you're depressed and just drunk and not doing anything positive in life, I think I've been able to avoid those the past 30 days. Again, with this YouTube channel, it's really helped is when I post these videos daily, it gives me motivation to stay sober, to post something which hopefully helps all of you guys. You know, maybe gives you an idea you haven't tried to stay sober, or an idea you haven't tried to accomplish a goal you have in life. And so I've been motivated with this YouTube channel, with support of my friends and family, with just taking it one moment at a time, remembering that alcohol is not the answer, that how good I feel sober, that if I have that one sip of alcohol, I bet it'll give me that euphoria for just one moment. And then you know what? I'm going to want a beer, and then another beer, and then I'm going to black out and relapse. And I've been down that path before too many times, and I'm done with that path. And so those are the things you want to remember, that, you know, when you have that urge to have a sip of alcohol. I mean, hey, if I'm with a friend and I want to have a sip of alcohol in the future, and I believe I can control it, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to consider myself still sober. It's like if you have alcohol in your mouthwash and you accidentally swallow it, does that ruin your sobriety because you swallowed a little bit of alcohol in your mouthwash? I don't think so. So, you know, I'm trying to be reasonable about this whole process. Is the non-alcoholic beer I have, some of it actually has 0.5% alcohol in it, so it's not truly zero alcohol, but I haven't had any buzz or any drunkenness or anything even close to that from drinking non-alcoholic beer. So I don't feel like when I'm having the beer with 0.5% alcohol that I'm cheating. I consider that still non-alcoholic. And if I had a sip of a martini or something just because a friend wanted me to taste it because it tastes good, if all I had was a sip just to taste it, you know, I still want to have fun with friends. And if I would be able to have a sip and say that's enough, is I don't want my own beer now. I don't want two of my own beers now, because you see where this path has gone for me in my past. And so it's important to be reasonable about things, just like other things in my life, as I've cut out burgers and fried food with my cholesterol. Does that mean I'm never going to have a burger again? No, maybe once a year I'll have a burger. And I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to say that's it, is I'm not going to crave a burger the next day and then another burger the next day. Same with this, is right now I've been able to avoid alcohol except for the non-alcoholic beer with 0.5% alcohol. I've had that in the past 30 days, but my mouthwash I don't believe even has any alcohol in it. I haven't had a sip of alcohol from any friends or family, but if I do, I'm going to consider my sober streak alive, as long as I believe I'm acting within reason and acting responsibly and not overdoing it. And so, again, I'm just sharing this with you because I want to be honest with you all on my channel. I want to keep the sober streak alive. It's important to define what sobriety is to me, and so there's that. And I believe having a reasonable perspective on life is helping me avoid bad days, ugly days, and keep having good days like I've been having over the past 30 days. So I wish that all for you. Okay, again, in terms of cryptocurrency, I've got a story to share with you, but in terms of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is hovering around the $40,000 mark. Ethereum's going up pretty well in advance of the London hard fork. A lot of reason to be optimistic is ever since the B-Word conference in June, is we've had positive momentum in the cryptocurrency industry. Expect August to be a positive month again with the London hard fork and other improvements and other altcoins. September, I believe, is the month when El Salvador is going to implement Bitcoin into their economies. So if you can, keep loading up on cryptocurrency. I highly recommend it. The story I want to share with you is a negative in cryptocurrency that many people have had, and I hope that you can avoid, is there was a day where I lost $1,000 worth of Tether, which I got by converting Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV into Tether. And so I went to an exchange, sold the Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV I had because I didn't want it anymore. At one point in time, I had about 15 to 20 coins in my portfolio, and right now I'm down to less than 10 coins. I really have 6 or 7 coins that I'm seriously invested in. But anyway, I was trying to consolidate my portfolio, and so I sold $1,000 worth of Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin SV is this program I used on the computer, did it for me very easily. In fact, I got a third coin, Bitcoin, who knows what other fork there was, that I got by using the software. So I ended up with $1,000 worth, converted it to Tether. The mistake I made, which I hope you guys avoid, is I then tried to transfer that $1,000 worth of Tether, which was Ethereum based. I tried to transfer it to the Binance Smart Chain, not realizing that they were not compatible. Well, once I transferred the $1,000 worth of Tether from the Ethereum-based chain to the Binance Smart Chain, I lost that $1,000 permanently. As I went to the exchange, I believe it was Uphold, and I asked them if there was anything they could do to try to recover my $1,000, and there is nothing they could do. I still enjoy that exchange because I was able to load up on Ripple when it was banned on pretty much every other exchange here in the United States. So I highly recommend that exchange, but they were not able to recover my $1,000 lost by converting Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV to Tether, which was Ethereum-based Tether, which I then tried to transfer to the Binance Smart Chain. Don't do that, as you'll lose your crypto. Now, I've heard stories of people who have lost $150,000 doing the same thing I did. So people have had it way worse than me. Other people have maybe tried sending Bitcoin to an Ethereum chain, doing other things like that, where you're sending one type of cryptocurrency to another type of cryptocurrency, which are not compatible with each other. So just try to avoid that. I've been pretty careful in life. It's funny is I've done other things in life that don't bother me at all. This is still one thing to this day that still bothers me, and I think it's because it's something I could have avoided. Is I look at that $1,000 and I could have easily avoided the situation. Is if I had transferred that Tether from an Ethereum-based blockchain to another Ethereum-based blockchain wallet, I would have been totally fine. I would have never remembered this moment nearly as well as I do today. Have I blown $1,000 in other ways? Of course I have. Is in fact just over the past 3+ years since I got into cryptocurrency in July of 2018, is there's been numerous periods in my life where I've lost $1,000, even tens of thousands of dollars investing in cryptocurrency, and it doesn't bother me whatsoever. Is to lose $10,000 in a day. It comes with the territory. Is this is a volatile market. And when I lose $10,000 or gain $10,000 in a day, it has pretty much zero impact on my life. So why would this $1,000 loss affect me so much? And I think it is because when I gain $10,000 or lose $10,000 in a day, it's not really gaining or losing until you sell or use the cryptocurrency. And I'm a long-term holder, because I'm a long-term holder of these cryptocurrencies, and so these short-term fluctuations don't bother me because I have a long-term vision of where this thing is going. In terms of losing $1,000, that was something I could have avoided. I could have been a little bit more careful, done a little bit more research to see how Tether works, how there are different Tether on different blockchains, whether it's Ethereum-based or Bitcoin or Binance Smart Chain based. I believe there's 2 other options for Tether, maybe even more now, but I thought Tether was Tether. I didn't realize that Tether on one kind of blockchain was different than Tether on another kind of blockchain. I learned it the hard way. I learned that lesson by losing $1,000. If I had done more research, taken more time, maybe never even gone to Tether. At that time in my life, I was trying to collect Ripple. I should have just sold my Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash. I should have just sold it straight to XRP and then withdrawn that to my XRP wallet. Then I wouldn't have lost $1,000. But never worked with Tether before in my life. Will probably never work with Tether ever again. It was a bad experience, and I really have no need to use Tether. I understand what other people do, but I'd rather hold the more investment-type cryptocurrencies than to convert from Bitcoin back to Tether, then back to another crypto, then back to Tether. That's not really the way I play the game. And so that's one time in my life I used Tether, lost $1,000. It sticks with me to this day. I've lost way more money just being invested in the crypto market. Again, with these gains and losses, it's the most volatile market I've ever been a part of. But again, with the long-term vision, those short-term huge gains and losses don't bother me. It's when it's something I do that I could have changed that had an effect on my life. That's when it bothers me. And so the reason I would share that with you is that $1,000 incident sticks with me because it was a mistake I could have avoided. I could have been more careful. And with alcohol, I don't want to make a mistake like that ever again, as I'm 30 days sober, but I don't want to have to go back to a day 0 video because I made some silly mistake that I could have avoided. So like losing this $1,000 is you don't want to lose your days sober streak. Is think about the future, think about your long-term vision and where you're going, and hopefully you stick to it and accomplish your goal. In terms of your fantasy sports update, Olympics are still going on, loving baseball, looking forward to fantasy football. Again, my main fantasy sports are golf, baseball, basketball, and football. I'll play fantasy tennis once in a while. I've done fantasy League of Legends once and finished almost in dead last, thanks to the help of a friend who is a huge video gamer. That was a fun experience. But yeah, fantasy sports going well, always a fan. Never bet more than you're willing to lose. As right now I'm playing a daytime MLB lineup. I think I was doing okay. My pitcher for Cincinnati was doing great. Nothing for my hitting yet, so we'll see. When I talk about fantasy sports a lot, overall I've probably lost. I find it to be fun and entertaining. I don't play fantasy sports to make a living, to make money, but there is one time in my life where it actually was life-changing. That would have been December 25th, Christmas Day of 2018. I actually won $10,000 betting on NBA. Because that day is a day where there are 5 NBA games to bet on, so I bet the 5-game slate. After the first game, I knew I had no chance, so I bet the 4-game slate. After that game, I knew I had no chance, so I bet the 3-game slate. After that game, I bet the 2-game slate, and was so exhausted from the day that I went to sleep. Well, betting on the 2-game slate, I can't remember who was playing that day. I believe it was Kevin Durant, because he was a part of my lineup, and he actually had the snowflake. He underperformed, but he scored such a large amount of points that even if he underperformed based on his salary, he was on my winning lineup. I also had like Andre Iguodala and random guys. I could go back and look, but it was the last 2 games of Christmas Day 2018, and I ended up finishing in 2nd place and winning $10,000. I feel like I should have finished 1st place and won $20,000. The guy who finished 1st, I believe, had way riskier picks than I did, a lot more bench guys, but that's the way it goes. Is if I had it to do all over again, I would have chosen my lineup 1,000 out of 1,000 times, and I believe I would have beaten him 999 times out of those 1,000. But it doesn't matter. The one time was he beat me, he won 20,000. I'm happy. I finished 2nd, won 10,000. I was able to turn that $10,000 into cryptocurrency, which is worth way more today. And so that is a time in my life where I could say betting on sports, playing fantasy sports, was actually life-changing for me, and I was able to turn that money into a successful investment. So I wish the same for you guys. So if you're struggling playing fantasy sports, and if you're getting discouraged, again, try to do it just for entertainment. That's what I do it for, is I love keeping track of my sports. It gets me more into the game. And if you happen to win, enjoy it and invest it wisely. I play the very risky tournaments, the huge GPPs, and so it's hard to win those, as you should expect to lose way more than you win. When you win, hopefully you hit it big, and that time I did. And so, if you're struggling with fantasy sports, stick with it. If a person like me can win, you can too. Wrapping things up here, other life updates. Things in life are going pretty good. Again, I'm prioritizing my mental health. It's interesting seeing a lot of athletes in the news these days. Simone Biles at the Olympics, Naomi Osaka in tennis. Since the Olympics have been on, Michael Phelps, he's been talking about his mental health struggles, as all these athletes have had to take breaks or have had to deal with mental health issues. And so if you don't have your mental health, you really don't have much health in life. And so I hope you all prioritize that in your lives. My mental health is as good as it ever has been. Despite dealing with COVID-19, as numbers are going up here in New Mexico, deaths are still down, but cases are up due to the Delta variant. Hopefully COVID doesn't shut things down again. But just deal with life the best you can. Alcohol is not the answer. If you get depressed from COVID-19, don't use alcohol to solve that problem, because that's not going to solve the problem. It's just going to create more problems for you. So going back to my channel, today is day 30, as I'm going through all the videos in my playlist right now, and I have my day 0 video, which I did not do on day 0. I did it like 6 or 7 days later when I was in a better mental state to do YouTube videos. But I recapped my day 0 through day 5 videos on my YouTube channel. Day 6 is the first day I actually did a live YouTube stream and then uploaded it to the channel. Just going through my days, I've done various walks through Old Town. I've drank beer, but non-alcoholic, at least with 0.5% alcohol, which is considered non-alcoholic. We've had the B-Word conference, gone through the changing of the name of the Cleveland Indians to the Cleveland Guardians, done many walks around Old Town, Teague Park, try to clean up the crime and homelessness on the bike path between 12th Street and Rio Grande. I was actually on the local news, KRQE, for that. So a lot of things have happened on my channel over the past 30 days. Can't wait to see what the next 30 days bring. If you've enjoyed this video, my Day 30 Extravaganza, please like this video and please like my other videos. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and be notified of all future videos to support future videos that are made from this channel. Good luck with your sobriety. Good luck with whatever goals you may have. This video is about 30 minutes long right now, so I think I'm going to cut it off. Again, many more videos to come. I'm going to try to do this daily, at least for this sobriety thing, and I'll do extra videos based on fantasy sports, crypto, or whatever's on my mind. Again, I hope you find this video useful, especially if you're trying to overcome alcoholism, as I've had my own battle. Here I am today. If I can do it, you can too. God bless. Take care.